What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Punk, or basically the cool Spider-Man in the Across the Spider-Verse film. Now I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I don't know anything about this character outside of that movie, and to be honest, I don't even remember much that he did during the movie. So yeah, we're just going to have some fun talking about this one. Now let's go ahead and get into it, starting off with the very sexy packaging. Now, out of all the characters in the Spider-Verse film, I feel like this guy was meant to have the most style to him when it came to the particular art style of the movie. He just looked a whole lot different than the rest of the characters. Now, granted, he did come from a different universe, but still, I think a lot was done on purpose, and that does also translate into the packaging. As you can see, it does have almost like this retro-ish look, kind of a graffiti-ish look. Even the image on the front does. You can see he's really rocking out right here. We got the window where you can see the figure looking really damn good. It does say Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Marvel, Tamashii Nations Bandai at the bottom, Spider-Punk up there, Bandai Namco, nothing much really going on at the top. We've got an image of him unmasked at the bottom. We're going to talk about that unmasked head. We've got this image right here on the side. It does say Spider-Punk. On this image right here, we've got him rocking out once again. And then, of course, on the back, we've got some poses we can get the figure into, as well as a bunch of stuff I cannot read because I imported this figure. It was picked up by the homie 86 Reviews, so big shout out to him for picking this up for me. He is my action figure plug whenever I can't get my hands on something. So again, big thank you to you, 86. Now let's have some fun talking about this figure. Now, straight out of the packaging, I'm going to be honest. I feel like Tamashii Nations truly brought this character to life the best way that they could. And I mean that in a good way, because when you watch a movie like this that has so many different art styles, it's really hard to capture all of that, man, because every single one of these Spider-Man characters had a different look to them. I think the most similar characters were Gwen and Miles, and then of course their families, but even they didn't come from the same universe. And so the art styles were just really all over the place with this movie. And this guy here in particular probably had the most over-the-top look. At least most of the other costumes for the characters were simplistic. This guy, not so much, man. There's a lot going on. He's got this whole rock star look, the spikes in his head, the cobwebs on the costume look a bit different. He does have the zip-up jacket, kind of emulating a bit of the Michael Jackson Bad style, if you know what I'm talking about. The very slim, slender arms, the bracelets, the wristbands, the belts, the pants that are crazy plaited. Then you got the boots. It's really a whole lot to talk about when it comes to this guy. And we're about to discuss all of that now as we take a closer look at the figure. Now, unlike most Spider-Man costumes, the eyes don't really have a particular shape to them. Both of them are a little different. As you can see, one of them is a bit smaller than the other, actually. I didn't even realize that. And then when you look at them at certain angles, it kind of looks like they're the same, but one's just upside down. But no, they are completely different shapes. He's got the spikes on his head, nothing crazy. And they're not a hard plastic, thankfully, but also be careful because these do seem like they could get warped. Now, that being said, I don't think it would pose a problem just because this guy is meant to have a weird look anyway. As I did mention earlier, the cobwebs are all completely different on him. They're not in a particular style on most, or like on most Spider-Man costumes. You've got the spikes and everything on the jacket. These are also kind of a soft plastic, so that's good. Let me get him back in focus. There we go. The blue shirt underneath that is completely ripped. I feel like he should have a spider logo under here. That would have been cool, but I guess that's just not a design that they went with. You've got this little, I don't know what you want to call this, bicep jewelry or bicep bracelet, whatever. Well, it can't be a bracelet. I don't know. It's something on the bicep with the spikes he decided to put on there. Then you've got one right here at the wrist. And then I guess he ripped the shirt up, and all of this is just torn parts of the shirt. I'm not entirely sure, man. I don't know what's going on here. It's a weird style all the way down to the pants. Now, these pants are pretty badass. I do like these. And I just realized something. Hold up. Does he have his face on his pants? That is crazy. I might be tripping, but it definitely looks like his face. Anyway, you got a whole lot going on with the pants as well, the suspenders. I do like the paintwork on these. It looks very, very clean, which it didn't have to be because of the fact that, I mean, none of this was clean in the movie. And then also, I forgot to show the back, but you've got this little logo right here, spider logo. I don't know what that says right there. Yeah, I don't know what that says. Y'all tell me. And then you've got just all kinds of designs and stuff on the pants. And then you do have the blue shoestrings that do match the shirt for his boots that come around the back of the boot. And then he ties them from behind. So obviously he gets somebody to tie these for him because there's no logical way that he could do this by himself. So that's interesting. And the boots look really good. They're a pretty good size. For the first time, I don't feel like the feet are too big or too small. They actually match the character. And so proportion-wise, he's very tall, slim, slender, and I think that's exactly what he should be. So overall, it's a very good looking figure. I'll give it that. Now, when it comes to his height to the top of his head, as you can see, he stands right at about 6.5 inches, and you pretty much get him at 7 inches to the top of his tallest spike on the hair. So very tall figure. And I know that the SH Figuarts versions of this whole entire franchise, to be honest, they have been pretty tall figures, but I don't have any of those. So you guys are going to have to settle with the comparisons to the Sentinel versions just because I think those are superior. So I kept those in my collection. Anyway, moving right along. Articulation wise, he looks up about that much, which I think is fine. He looks down about that much, also not bad. He does get really good tilt and turn, most of it coming from the base of the neck, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Arms do go up and out about that much, so you can get the T-pose, and as you can see, his arm length is very long, yo. Like, he's reaching all across the screen, so that's pretty interesting. He does have a swivel at the shoulder, also a swivel at the biceps. Now, when it comes to shoulder movements, let's see what that butterfly joint does. It doesn't come out the furthest. This is about as much as you can get, but of course, if you use the elbows and everything, it's going to work when it comes to bending the arms and getting him in those guitar playing poses, if I can speak. He does have double jointed elbows, so that's really good. No swivel right here at the wristband. Hands are on a ball peg, and you get very good mobility out of that, so that's great. And when it comes to the torso, a little bit of a diaphragm joint, not the best. It leans back about that much, forward about that much. Really good rocker. Most of it's going to come out of the waist. That's what's going to help. Thankfully, this jacket is a softer plastic, not it is glued on, so it's not going to move all the way. You can lift it about this much, and so it will kind of fold a bit once you get him in his poses, so that isn't too bad. He leans back about that much at the waist, forward about that much. Really good rocker. Swivel is not there, so that kind of sucks. No swivel at the waist. I don't know why they're doing that with their Spider-Man figures. This would have been the perfect time to implement a double ball peg and integrate it. It would have worked very well with this figure. Tamashii, come on with the Spider-Man. Stop doing that. Anyway, he kicks up a lot further than I thought, but the leg will pop off if you push it too far. But basically, he can kick about that much forward, so that's really dang good. So if you want to get him in those guitar, just going wild poses, it is going to work. He can kick out all the way, so that's even better. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. No swivel right here at the boot, sadly, like I thought he did, but oh well. Foot goes down about that much. Trying to see if you can tuck it. Now, it really doesn't go down or up that much, so that kind of sucks. But the ankle rocker is decent, still not the best, but it does work, so that's cool. And then he does have a toe hinge. So articulation wise, for the most part, you can pose him around. There's very few limitations, but be aware that there are some. Now, when it comes to accessories, you don't really get any web accessories, but you do get a whole lot of hands and other stuff. Now, first off, he comes with his masked head and a pair of, I guess, relaxed hands right out of the packaging. He then comes with a pair of reaching, grabbing, stylish pose hands. He comes with a pair of kind of palming hands. You could use these for wall crawling if you wanted to, but this guy looks like he's just too cool to be wall crawling. I just can't see him do it. He does come with a pair of thwip hands, but for him, I think these are just more of a like stylish thing that he does whenever he's going rockstar mode. I highly doubt that these are for thwipping, but he's Spider-Man, so he should be able to thwip. Anyway, he comes with a pair of holding hands, and then he comes with a set of guitar hands. This one has the little piece that he uses to strum the strings, and then he has a set, or not a set, but a hand where you can tell he's playing a chord. So this is really cool. I dig this here. Then he also comes with a pair of fist hands. Now, if I remember correctly, Miles and Gwen didn't come with fist hands, so I don't know why they throw them in with some figures and not others. That's very weird, but I mean, he comes with them, so cool. He does come with his time travel watch, or warping watch, whatever this is, so he gets that. And then, actually, I'm going to show this first. He does come with his guitar, which has quite a bit of a stylized look to it, a whole lot of art on there. You can tell that it was 3D printed on. It's nothing special, but, I mean, it does look cool. Nothing much really going on the back. And I'm assuming you can probably pop the string off of this. Yeah, you do it just like that, and then you just sling it over his shoulder, so that's cool. And then he does come with his unmasked head sculpt, which this, bro... this is not it, yo. I'm not going to say that it's bad, but it is a very soft look in comparison to what I think this should be. Like, this looks like, I don't know, man. This looks like 2016 Kodak Black with piercings, yo. I'm not feeling this, yo. And I saw some third-party head sculpts that look so much better than this, man. And I can't wait to see Sentinel do this, because I feel like their version of this head sculpt is just going to be crazy. And then he does also come with an interchangeable neck for whenever he is unmasked. And that's pretty much all you get. No stand or anything, which would have been cool. I'm fine with the amount of accessories. I just wish that the head sculpt was a little bit better. Moving on to size comparisons, like I said, I don't have any of the SH Figuarts versions of these figures, but I do have the Sentinels, which hopefully Sentinel does finally get into Across the Spider-Verse after they've announced the Spider-Punk. But as you can see here, he is standing next to the Kid Miles Morales. We also have him standing next to not Peter B, but Peter Parker. And I say that just because the lower torso is changed to the flatter stomach. And then we also have him standing next to a Spider-Man Noir. And to be honest, I feel like he scales well enough with these three that it's okay if you wanted to fudge them into your collection together. It doesn't look bad at all. Next up, for some more Spider-Man stuff, here he is standing next to a Medicom toy Spider-Man. This one does have the PS4 head sculpt on it that I got off of eBay, which is probably completely sold out now for the people that are going to ask. Now, we also have him standing next to a Medicom, or not Medicom, Marvel Legends 2-pack Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, and then the Marvel Legends 2-pack Green Goblin that comes with Mary Jane. Last but not least, here he is standing next to an SH Figuarts Spider-Man No Way Home new red and blue costume. We also have him standing next to the SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Satoru freaking Gojo. And last but not least, we have him standing next to a Figma Boku no Hero Academia or My Hero Academia Deku. Now, when it comes to my final thoughts on this figure, I'll be honest with you guys, man. I think it's a very cool and interesting design, but nothing about this character appeals to me enough to where I really wanted to go and do my research and find out about him. I thought he was interesting at the most in the movie, but he didn't really give me enough to where I was like, okay, I really like this dude. And I didn't care about him enough to go and do any research either. So that's why I don't know anything about the comic lore of this character in particular. But again, it's a very good looking figure. To be honest, I really don't have any issues with it. I mean, it turned out great. I do think that they need to start implementing the double diaphragm joint, or not the double ball peg right along the waist. They need to start including that. And then I do wish that the mobility was a tad bit better on the boots, but those are just minor minor imperfections when it comes to this figure, man. Tamashii Nations really did go all out, and I feel like this figure deserves the praise that I'm giving it, despite the fact that it's just not a figure that really appeals to me. Now, if I recommend it, or do I recommend it? Hell yes, of course, especially if you're a fan of the character and you've already been collecting this line. I do think it's a very, very solid figure, even with the flaws that I mentioned. If I had to rate it, I'd definitely give it an 8.5 out of 10. Let me knock that down. I just looked at this image right here. Let me knock that down. I give it a 7 out of 10, man. They got to do better on that head sculpt, yo. They did great with Miles. They did great with Gwen. Some people argue about the Spider-Man 2099 or Miguel O'Hara head sculpt. I thought it was great. So I thought all of them came out perfect. This one here is just not perfect, yo. That head sculpt is just not it. My boy is giving Kodak Black, yo. It's giving a Florida rapper. let me stop. All right, but yeah, I do recommend the figure if you guys want to get your hands on it. Make sure to go pick him up. This is one I think is going to sell out because if I remember correctly, the Marvel Legends is going for a crazy price right now. Now, I do think that they showcased another one they're going to be releasing, but I could be wrong about that. So yeah, if you're interested in this, make sure you get your hands on it because we have no idea when the Sentinel is coming. Could be sooner rather than later, but when it comes to action figures, you never know, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because that always helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.